welcome to bakingmad.com kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make Billington's ultimate gingerbread man. We're going to start with 100 grams of butter, which I'm just going to pop into a pan to melt, with 50 grams of Billington's light Muscovado sugar. And I always use light Muscovado sugar because it's got a slightly toffee flavour and it's lovely and moist, and it just gives such a depth of flavour to your gingerbread men. So I'm going to melt that on the hob until the butter's melted. Right, I've just melted the butter and the light Muscovado sugar together. No need to boil it, just get the butter melted. And then I'm going to add it to 225 grams of Allinson's plain white flour, half a teaspoonful of bicarb, and 2 teaspoonfuls of ground ginger. Now if you like them really gingery, you can always add an extra teaspoonful of ginger if you like. And then I'm going to stir that melted butter into the flour. And I also want to add some golden syrup. So I'm using 5 tablespoonfuls of Silver Spoon's golden syrup. And the easiest way to measure golden syrup is to have a really hot spoon so that it will fall off the spoon straight into the mixture. I love this squeezy bottle, it makes it much easier to measure out accurately. And do measure your golden syrup accurately, because if you just use any old kitchen tablespoon, it's very easy to put in heaped tablespoonfuls when actually you want to be quite accurate. So once you've got all your golden syrup in, just beat it with a wooden spoon until the mixture comes together to a thick paste. Right, once it leaves the sides of the bowl clean, just give it a quick squidge. And then I pat it down really quite thin, and that way it will chill much quicker. So I pop that in the fridge for about half an hour to an hour until we can roll it out. Okay, when your dough is nice and chilled, we're just going to roll it out and cut out our gingerbread men. A light dusting of flour, I don't want too much. And just roll out your dough to about the thickness of a pound coin. I'm using a nice fat gingerbread mould, but obviously use whichever mould you've got. But for this nice generous size, you'll make about 9 gingerbread men. But you just want to make sure when you're cutting them out that they're all the same thickness, because otherwise they'll cook at different times and temperatures. And they don't spread very much, so you can put them fairly close to each other. And then gather up your trimmings and roll out a few more. You probably need to fill up 2 baking trays with your gingerbread men, and then I'm just going to pop it in the oven at 190 centigrade, that's 170 if you've got a fan oven, gas 5, and bake them for about 10 to 12 minutes until they just turn a nice golden colour, and then they should be nice and crisp and firm. So here they are, nice and golden brown, and I'm just going to leave them on the baking tray for a couple of minutes and then lift them off onto a cooling rack to cool completely before we decorate them. I'm just going to decorate my gingerbread men with some icing, and I'm using Billington's golden icing sugar, just because it's got a lovely, lovely, slightly caramelly flavour. So if you're really into caramel cupcakes and caramel desserts, this is the icing sugar to use because it's already got the caramel flavour in it. So just pop that into a little piping bag, which I've put a number 2 piping nozzle in, but if you haven't got a nozzle, don't worry, just snip the end of the bag. And then we're just going to pipe on a nice big smiley mouth. Two little eyes. I'll put some boots on him. And then to make the Smarties stick, just a little bit of icing sugar and pop some Smarties for his buttons. And there we have our first Billington's Ultimate Gingerbread Man.